Griffin the Griffin by BlackWing. Chapter 46. Lies and Slander. So this is island number 8. Uninhabited, large, jungle-type, low food resources, harpies nest over the summer, avoid unless well-armed. Alright, let's move on to the next one, I said calmly as another wave of arrows and a shot from the laser cannon left the ship, ripping the bird-like fiends to pieces and setting them ablaze as they futilely attempted to scratch a hole in our armored balloon. The Rangers had taken to shooting them down, while the Lemko cats, all using spears instead of swords and axes, skewered them when they reached the deck. The flyers and armed mounts were circling, picking off any that were on the ship. Shimmer was lighting them ablaze from Gilda's back, while she shredded them with her claws. Mario was nimbly dodging them, while Nadine cut them apart as they flew past. I was hacking away at them, singing a merry little tune. Oh, a-reaping I will go, a-reaping I will go, hi-ho the dairy-o, a-reaping I will go. Come, sing with me! I called merrily, bringing laughs from the rest of my crew as they continued to slice the attackers apart. These things have obviously never played StarCraft. Zerg rushes only work when the opponent hasn't built their defenses yet. Constantly being set on fire by the laser as well as burning arrows, there was a literal rain of fire over the ocean as the corpses of harpies blazed as they fell. After 10 minutes and about 300 of the half-bird, half-pony, all-ugly harpies slashed, burned, shredded, or all three by the laser as it passed through the multiple enemies, they gave up and flew back to their nests to lick their wounds. We flew back to the ship and the cats let out a cheer. Some of them had taken to cooking the things while on their own gem spears, following Growl's example. Hey, why not? It's meat, it's non-toxic, and best of all, it's free. So it looks a little bit like a pony. Who cares? Oh yeah, Trixie does. She went and hid in her room till the feast was over. She didn't complain. She knows we're omnivorous, but that doesn't change the fact that she didn't like it. Well, that was fun. Really ought to do it again sometime. Heck, we should probably vacate the Old Dominion and have the Griffins live in the Isles instead of the jungles.
You know, Griff, that's not a bad idea. Sure, not many gems by comparison, but we don't eat them. We really have no need for them. The islands and the jungle are full of life. Food, rainwater, everything we need. We could all just migrate down here. Maybe go south of the equator,
Gilda replied. First, we need to free the slaves. So we still need to invade Gem Vital. But we could take everyone who isn't fighting and tell them to head south to a meeting point. Get out of the frozen north. We'll have to think about it. Okay, islands number 12, 14, 17, 21, and 25 are uninhabited, overflowing with food, prime locations, ready to be colonized. Numbers 2 to 6, zebra settlements, 7 is too small, 8 through 10 are harpy nests, 11 is a barren, the others are too rocky, steep cliffs, volcanic or inhabited by dangerous beasts. Only another 60 to go. I slouched in the captain's chair. Steelhorn was still busy working at the forge. Shimmer was getting quite a set of lungs on her, able to keep up a solid stream of flame for 5 whole minutes before needing to breathe in again. Growl was making charts, being the only one with drawing skill at all. Let's see. Island number 26. Huh? Docks? Port Town! I jumped to the chair to get a better look through the front window. Sure enough, a port full of ships of the oceanic and sky variety, all bearing the equestrian flag. Gilda, Maria, you're with me. We quickly left the ship, grabbing nearby clouds and lumping them together around the vessel. It was night, and when dawn came, we'd be like a second sun. We didn't want to attract attention. Confident that we were well hidden, the clouds staying in place around the ship, despite the ocean breeze, we geared up and headed out. We were wearing white cloaks that would cover our bodies, and more importantly, our weapons, so we could just enter the town inconspicuously. They were basically togas. White sheets that were bunched up around our necks so we could cover our mouths. Kind of like what you would expect someone in a desert to wear, except white. That flowed over our entire bodies, hiding our blades and bows. Of course, they weren't meant to conceal that we had weapons. More what they were. What other group runs around carrying weapons made from dragon niblets? The cloth itself was breathable, but warm, so the cool ocean breeze didn't chill us. I hope that the disguise works.
All right, papers, please.
A guard pony asked upon looking at us.
Papers. Oh, fuck.
Huh. Well, that's different. Why are you wearing garb like that?
Damn it.
Oh, wait, I know. The Desert Orchid has no need for your papers. She goes where she pleases. Trixie picked up on my improv cue right away. We'd been practicing improv before, how to make up a believable story on the spot. I basically just set her up as a doomed princess. Explains the cloak, as we would have been wearing something like this to keep the sand away, as well as why she's riding me. Desert Orchid or not, this is a military base. I need to know why you are here and your business with these waters, as well as how you came to be here. Come on, Trix, do your thing. It's what you were born to do. Lie till your tongue turns black. And, peon, who are you to tell me what I can and cannot do? I am Karin, the princess of the southern dunes and the priestess of the singing cloud. My business is my own. I go where I please. Now, out of my way. I watched as the inspection officer gulped and backed away, visibly shrinking under the desert princess's gaze. Milady, I apologize. You should not have to strain your tongue in dealing with this common rabble. I will gladly accept any punishment you see fit in my failure. My head hung low. Nazim, you have always served me faithfully. Your folly is forgiven. This time. She gave a smirk as we sauntered past the stunned guard, the rest of my crew following. Well, Karin, nice work. Thank you, Nazim. Despite what you might believe, I listened to your talk of your home, especially of the cultures. Since you made me out to be a desert orchid, I figured I'd give us Eastern names. She laughed. See, it pays to be prepared for this kind of thing. I expect you all know your roles. The silent guards, we just investigate a bit. Then we'll head out, and it won't take too long. We wandered through the town, getting a couple glances, but since Etch and Growl drew on their spears on either side, Gilda was up front, and Nadine behind a kind of armored car formation. All the while, everyone looking as regal as possible. They weren't the bad kind of glances, they were the curious, interested glances, wondering what someone like that might be doing here. We were approached by a gray stallion with a fancy mustache and the rich snob air about him. Green mane. Rarity would hate him. Ah, Princess Karin, my lady. It is much honor for you to visit our humble port. I am Mayor High Class, and this is my assistant Quinn. He motioned to a typical bookkeeper pony. Nerd glasses, oily mane, never been in the sun. Please accompany to my manor, and allow me to show you and your guard some hospitality. You have traveled a long way. He bowed to kiss her hoof. She looked quite taken with his offer. Milady, need I remind you we have a schedule to keep? I didn't like where this was going. She leaned down to whisper to me.
Griff, we're trying to find out more about this place. Wouldn't it be best if we take him up on his offer?
Yeah, but that's only a side goal. We don't really need this. Although we could get some supply here, if you know what I mean.
I'm always up for theft.
All right, we'll do it. I turned my head away and looked saddened. Many apologies, High Class. Nazim seems to have forgotten his place. All corrected quickly, however, Trixie smiled. Aha! A man of action and strength. Quite respectable. We must always make sure that the common filth know their place. Please follow me. He trotted ahead, the crew taking up the formation again to put distance between the two of them.
Griff, is this a good idea?
Gilda whispered. He's smitten with Trixie, so we're going to use that to take him for everything he's willing to give.
All right, if you're sure.
Of course I'm sure. With all of us here, what could go wrong? Ah, yes. My home. Welcome. Make yourselves comfortable. I shall bring tea momentarily. He left to go get the offered drink. We spread ourselves out. Changed my mind, Trix. I don't like this. He's a creeper, and not one of the exploding ones. I prefer them to this guy. He gives me a nasty vibe. They all looked at me, wondering what a green exploding creeper was before dismissing it as a human thing.
I agree. I don't like this, Nadine added.
It'll be fine, she reassured us. High Class returned a few minutes later, carrying cups for all of us, plus himself. Odd. We're just the guards. Servants. Why do we get tea? Etch, Grell, and Nadine picked up their cups and each took a sniff before putting them down, not taking a drink. Trixie levitated hers up and began to sip from it. Well now, Princess Karin, the Desert Orchid, priestess of the singing cloud, what brings you to my humble town? He asked. I would hardly call it humble. It is a rather fantastic town, the base of operations for equestrian military on the islands, is it not? Ah, indeed. I see you have a sharp eye and wit. No doubt you are a fine ruler of... Where was it again? The southern dunes, across the great desert. She looked a little nervous at the question he was asking, so she took another sip of tea. It only made her sweat more. For some reason, he was sweating as well. That's strange. He's used to the temperature here. So are we, and we're not sweating. I don't like it. Ah, yes, how foolish of me to forget. I can't help but notice you didn't dock at port. How did you come to arrive here?
Ah, shit, he's onto us.
He's sweating because the rest of us didn't touch our drinks. He drugged it! Mr. High Class, I can think of a better question. What did you put in our tea? He recoiled when I said that, Trixie spitting out the mouthful she had been, and dropped her cup. Nazim, or should I say, Griffin the Griffin. I was told you were a pirate. Pirates are usually dumb brutes, are they not? Only the dead ones. Everyone jumped up, drawing their weapons and getting ready into a battle stance. Oh, please, sit and have some tea. He stumped himself on the ground. A very large number of royal guards surrounding us from adjacent rooms. The dogs growled and Nadine hissed. Gilda and I scowled. Maria tensed out to flee. Trixie slept. Very clever, Mayor. Drugging us to sleep so you could take us into custody. You have to be the least stupid person to try and catch us yet. Although that's not saying much since they've all been morons up till now. Except for that we didn't fall for it. Well, except Trixie, but she had a role to play. Yes, that is unfortunate. Although, with all the exits sealed off and the room filled with guards, how do you plan to escape? He hummed merrily. I drew my sword and pointed it at him. The guards lowered their stances. One step closer, and the mayor gets a new haircut. By the way, I have no idea how to haircut. I might make a mess. They all stepped back, keeping themselves on guards. You must know that you cannot escape from here, he laughed. We'll just see about that. I am wondering something, though. How'd you know it was us? Simple. Because I happen to know the Princess of the Southern Dunes. She passed through here 3 years ago looking for an old friend, and she was not a pony. I came down to meet her, and to my surprise, it wasn't her I saw. It wasn't all that I heard to put the facts together. If I had not known her from before, I would have never figured it out, he explained. Ah, so Lady Luck does not like me after all. That's depressing. I thought I was on good terms with Chance. Good plan you have here, but poorly executed, I'm afraid. How so? I have you in the center of the city, surrounded by guards. You can't possibly fight your way out through this many, he stated. I saw a familiar bundle of clouds in the distance, slowly moving over the town. Ventus? What? What does that mean? I swung my sword, leading with the flat. I used my sword to create a gust like a fan, then amplified it. I blew a mass of air at the guards, out of the way into the window, with which we dove through. Shimmer popped out, just as Gilda left to spout fire into the room. Not enough to make it catch, but enough to cause them all to recoil for a moment. I grabbed a blood vial, drank it, and recharged my sword. Obscuro! And we vanished. As soon as the guards had stopped shielding their eyes from the smoke and flame, we were gone. We flew over to the clouds, landing on the ship and slowly drifting away from the town, unseen due to our vapor cover. Well, Trixie, nice of you to wake up. What happened? Mr. High Class offering us our hospitality? It's a trap! As soon as it turns out, he actually knows the Princess of the Southern Dunes of the Great Desert. We made up a story, but had no idea of its relationship in the real world. I didn't see any desert on the map, though.
Well, most don't know what's down south. Maybe a few do, but they aren't sharing. And it hasn't been explored enough to chart it, Gilda explained.
Well, kinda sucks that our cover was blown. Gotta be more careful in the future, and don't eat or drink anything we didn't make ourselves. For us, it pays to be paranoid. Sorry, Grub. I screwed up, didn't I? Trixie looked sad. Yeah, but don't worry about it. So we didn't learn anything about this port, and we didn't get any supplies out of High Class, and we almost got caught. So what? You've been doing good so far. We all ran out of luck eventually, and just have to figure out another way to do it. So coming here was a complete waste of time. It happens. Which is why we're always there to bail each other out. Everybody messes up. and it's just as much my fault for giving us a bad alibi and going along with him. There's just some stuff you just can't plan for. Dear Princess Luna, today I learned that no matter how hard you try to plan for the future, no matter what preparations you make, not everything is within control. Basically, shit happens. And when it does, when you mess up, you can count on your friends to help you out. Sincerely, Trixie. P.S. Twilight writes your sister friendship reports. I think I'll write you some of my own.